And here we go. It is Florida week. And man, I've been looking forward to this day to talk to Jacob Warren. And we're going to talk about the Gators and the game coming up. But let's start with a game against Akron where you guys handled business.
Yeah.
That was the goal. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, that's all it's about, man. Just going in there and doing what you can and trying to execute at a high level and put up a bunch of points. And I think we did that. Defense played really well. Obviously, held them out of the end zone. And yeah, excited to come away with a good feeling.
Yep. And I'm not never going to ask you to talk to injuries, but it appears from what we've heard there were a couple of scary moments. But from what I've been told, everything looks good as far as Cedric Tillman, Jabari Small. So that's the other goal, I would think, with games like that is to get out as healthy as possible, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's the thing is you go in and, you get up however many points and now it's, all right, our guys that we're not trying to save for Florida or whatever, but like we're trying to be healthy for the rest of the season, right? So let's let some of these other guys get in and try to take some of that running off our legs and just try to keep everybody healthy. You know what I mean?
Well, I certainly did that. And Jacob, what does Florida week mean to you?
Florida week, I think is just obviously it's easy to say it's just another week, right? Because it's just another game. But I think Florida week is just a lot. It's a lot for the fan base, and I really I appreciate the game because I think this is the most excited that people get for any game. And I can remember being at Florida games in Neyland and it being just crazy loud, packed out. The team at the time was going into it 3-0, or they were, whatever their record was. It's always extremely exciting on this weekend when we get to play Florida. So to me, it's just an opportunity to go out and play a really big game. College game day is going to be there, so that's huge. Two ranked teams, and it'll be a great game, and that's what it is to me. It's just it's another opportunity to go and just perform in front of this great crowd.
The Vol Report is brought to you by Vassy Lawn and Garden with Jacob Warren. And man alive, it's worth the drive right there in Cleveland. It's worth the drive from Knoxville or Chattanooga to save a lot of money on fantastic commercial mowers, residential. They've got it all right there at Vassy Lawn and Garden. Man alive, it is worth the drive. Hedgers, trimmers, and all that good stuff too. I want to ask you about your strongest Florida moment, being a guy that's local, being a guy that, his dad played, he's got family ties there. And I do want to remind people to hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Again, like, subscribe, and share so more people can hear Jacob week to week. And is there one that stands out, one game that maybe you went to or even watched on television that you think back and that's the most prominent one?
So I could be wrong about this, but when I was probably high school, I think we were at home wearing the smoky grays, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is when Jawan Jennings on the sideline bobbles the ball and then actually ends up catching it, running and touchdown. That's against Florida, right?
I believe so. Yes.
So that's the one the one thing I can remember is that game, just when they wore the smoky grays. And again, like I mentioned, it was rocking, the place was packed and it was super electric, and they end up doing whatever. But just I remember that catch specifically because of big personality and the things that he does, people remember. But yeah, I guess that's one moment. I don't know about any specific game or anything like that, but that's one thing that sticks out to me.
What do you remember about that game last year that went their way, got a little bit one-sided? What are some of those memories?
It's unfortunate that we left some opportunities out there, and I think we all know that that was kind of something that brought us down a lot last year, was not necessarily as a team, but just I'll say caused us to lose a lot of games, right? Is critical situations and we're making mistakes. We're getting penalties, or we're dropping balls, or taking sacks, whatever it may be. And that game kind of sticks out as one of those that you really wish you could have finished that one out, especially seeing how the season progressed for each team. You know what I mean? I think that was a point where we really took the next step, and we truly got to fight, and we have to try to so that we can win those games. And then obviously, what happened with them as the season went on is just you kind of feel like you missed an opportunity there. So yeah, that's kind of what we think about and remember. I remember the mistakes. I remember the penalties, the sacks, things like that. Um, yeah, you don't want to think too much about last year, but that's
Yeah.
kind of what I think about.
Well, let's go ahead and move forward. So, how much have you seen of Florida, if at all? I mean, you got your own business to take care of
Mhm.
this year. So far this season, they're 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, you see, I don't know, without getting too much into it, you see them playing tight games with some different teams that you might think that they might have blown out, right, or they should be beating or whatever, but they still they fight and they play hard, and obviously they're not just going to lay down. And I think that coming into this game, like I said, two ranked opponents, and they're going to be just as fired up as we are. You know what I mean? So I think that team has a lot of talent, and we'll put up a good fight, and I think it'll be a good game.
Please hit that like and subscribe button. The Vol Report brought to you by Vassy Lawn and Garden with Jacob Warren. And also, if you can, hit share. We'd greatly appreciate that. So, Jacob, that Jalen Hyatt guy can play some football.
Man, yeah, he can. He's fast too. Goodness gracious. No, he man, just the way he moves is just crazy, dude. Because I think I've talked about it, but like he just floats when he runs, and he's so. I mean, he's put on a lot of weight, but he's still a light guy, and he can just fly. So watching him catch those slants across the middle and just take off out of the backside like that, and just outrun everybody is pretty crazy.
Was there a moment, because he talked about how hard it was for him last year because he wasn't playing as much, and he's
Hmm.
even pointed to himself as saying maybe I didn't have the best approach. I'm paraphrasing, and now he said at the press conference last night, haven't done anything yet. We haven't even gotten started.
Yeah.
So he's still hungry now, even though he's had some success. Was there anything that changed, or when did you see the change in him the past year?
Yeah, I think over this last spring ball, everybody really saw a big change from Jalen. Just the way he attacked the weight room and putting on weight as far as like eating and making sure he's gaining good weight. And then even just kind of as a leader, right, in that wide receiver room and showing guys how it's supposed to be done, and taking that next step to just kind of in his I guess his maturity. He's a mature guy, and he has been. But just I think when it comes to the game, just his attention to detail and just the way, like I said, that he approaches each day and he comes to work every day. And the coaches obviously realize that, and the players realize that, and we all really appreciate that. He was like, this team needs me to be a big guy for us. Obviously Bayless moving on last year, and he kind of played that spot, and Jalen repped in too. But just Jalen understanding that that's his spot to take, right, and it's time for him to step up and go get it and be the best he can. So glad he's able to do that for us and for himself.
Um, as far as his improvement, the offense looks as if it's got all the pieces in place. A couple of slow starts, and Pitt's very understandable because that was a way different look, but a little bit of a slow start against Akron. Is that an issue, you think, or is that just maybe coincidence that there were two slow starts?
Just coincidence, I think. I don't know, even in Akron, you sitting there with 14 points in the first quarter, and you're just kind of like, man, like 14-0. That's completely normal for most games, right? Like you shouldn't be complaining about being up two scores after you've had three drives, right? Like that's not that's pretty I don't know. It's weird to think about the fact that we're all really upset about we also only scoring 14 points. But that's our
Sure.
identity, right? Like we want to come out and we want to score quickly and put a lot of points on the board. And so I think yeah, you kind of stall out on that first drive and then don't get points there. Um I think it's just important just to come back the next drive, and I don't know exactly the flow of the game, but I'm pretty sure we end up going and scoring a couple times after that. So just kind of calming those nerves and making it like, okay, what we're doing, we're not gonna like have the slow start again. We're gonna try to come out and do what we do. So no, I don't think there's any panic or anything. I don't know if that's what you're asking, but I don't think there's any panic or any worry about that. I think it's just a matter of coincidence and what happened and the progression of that first drive that kind of maybe seemed slow or like we weren't ready to come out and play.
Well, it's funny you mentioned you guys have raised the bar so high. So I do a report card and don't look at it ever because I may make you mad sometime and you might not want to work with me. And I don't want that to happen. So,
Yeah, I won't.
so I was writing that up and I was going to give the quarterbacks a B plus because I thought there were a couple of missed passes by Hendon Hooker. But then I always look at the stats before I actually publish it. And I see 14 of 18 for 298 yards. I was like, how can I not give that guy an A? I mean, that you
Yeah, you
guys have,
can't.
you guys have raised the bar so high
Yeah,
that at times I think people on the outside, including me, kind of nitpick a little bit. And my apologies if I do that.
it's all right. Like you said, everybody does it, and you can't really. We talk about not listening to the outside noise, right? And understanding that there's going to be people that say this or that say that, you know. And like for you, it's not coming out of any like bad place, right? Like you still care for the team, you still really, will support us, and I think that that's great. But you can't get too caught up in what, all the rankings and all of the grading and the report cards and stuff like that. So I won't even read it. So don't worry about it.
Good, good. I won't send it to you.
Yeah.
It's no good anyway. You guys have a lot more insight than I do. Hit that like, subscribe, please share. The Vol Report with Jacob Warren is brought to you by Vassy Lawn and Garden. What went down with Jimmy Callaway? That was strange.
I don't know. I really don't, and that's something that I can't talk about obviously because I truly don't know what happened. I was kind of in the back like getting water or whatever, and I just hear whoa, 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 everybody yelling and stuff, and then obviously I hear the call, the penalty, right, and all the personal whatever, and that it's to me it's a I guess just a lapse in focus, and that's not him, and I wish that wasn't what the media and everyone else that was watching is going to see as him. So it's really unfortunate. Obviously, he'll be fine. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's unfortunate that went down.
Yep. And as far as the tight ends, which you are
Hmm.
one, um, not
I
as
am
involved in not as involved in the passing game as I want you to catch like 3 touchdowns a game. So
for sure.
is that just the evolution of the game? Is that just the way things play out, or has anything changed? Maybe
Yeah,
too much.
I mean, you see early on Princeton catching a couple balls in that one drive that we had going to the south end zone. And then I caught that one ball also going to the south end zone. It must have been first quarter. I don't know what quarter it was. Doesn't really matter. But you know, there is the intent to try to get us the ball and feed us the ball, and that stays alive the whole entire game. It's unfortunate because I talked about it last week with Pitt, how or first week with Bowling Green or Bowling Green. Whoa, Ball State. How the defense, they're dropping 8, whatever, covering up a lot of windows that we might be able to catch the ball in. And in this game, they go to man and they're playing one over top, which kind of takes away a lot of the options that we have in the middle of the field. Um, and it's also we play. I played a half yesterday. I played a half and then one drive in the second half, and you know that's already we're scoring quickly and we're trying to push the ball down the field vertically, and the guy the man one high like kind of spy dude on us like whatever, and then you only play a half, and so now all those half of the opportunities that you might have in the second half are not possible, right? So it's I don't think it's necessarily anything that kind of the way that things go.
Why did that game get so chippy? Because usually one-sided games just
Yeah.
tend to fade away, but man, it just seemed like it got chippy on their side more, but kind of
Yeah.
both sides.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Like no one wants to lose, right? No one wants to get beat whatever by however much they were getting beat. And so, you know, I don't know why it gets chippy. To me, when I'm on the field, it's very much like if you do something stupid or like you're trying to hurt one of my teammates, like yeah, I'm gonna get in your face and I'm gonna confront you about it or whatever, and I'm gonna tell you to stop doing it. I'm not gonna put my hands on you. I'm not gonna, do anything to get myself in trouble, right? To get a flag or whatever it may be. But um they just get that way, man, because we're feeling confident. No one, you can't say anything to us, right? Because if you try to start talking crap to us, like, dude, you're getting beat by 40 some points. That makes them mad. And then it leads to the next play where people are trying to take shots at each other, and then it leads to all this other stuff. And so it's just kind of how it goes, man. Just a bunch of young men on the field with pride and with, what I mean, cockiness and whatever it may be. So I think that's just kind of natural. But like I said, I hate when it gets to the point where people are actually putting each other in danger and trying to hurt each other. It just, I don't know. That's not the way I roll. But
you guys are going to be close to. You had some teams lose in front of you. I'm not even sure if you're aware, but you're going to be pushing the top 10. The top 10, Jacob. After what you've been through, what would that mean?
Man, it's huge. Again, like, doesn't matter. No, it doesn't. I mean, you'd prefer to not look, as I always say, but oh man, it's great. It's kind of cool just to kind of realize that there's nothing that we've done special, right? We beat three teams and three teams that we probably should have beat. So you kind of have to go into it with the clear mind, not getting too hot, too big headed, and just continue to show why you're there. I think is the biggest thing. You're there for a reason, and people are starting to recognize kind of I guess the hype around the program, and so give them a reason to keep ranking you up there. I mean, go beat a ranked team. Go. Really play well against these SEC teams and show them why you should be up there. So that's kind of, I guess, my take on it. It's great that we're up there, and I'm happy about it, but can't get too caught up in it.
What would a win against Florida mean for you personally, and obviously as a program?
First of all, I think if we win at Florida, the city will might set on fire. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, but it'll be crazy, right? There'll be people everywhere going crazy, and the fan base will be excited, and we'll be excited. But me personally, I think that's just something that, like, I have to be able to do it before I leave, right? This is big for me. Just winning these big games, and haven't won one yet, right? And ever since I've been here, I don't think we've beaten Florida. So it would be huge for me, at least since I've been playing, right? So it'd be huge for me to be able to do that, and just obviously later down the road, looking back at it, like, yeah, we did that. We went and we beat them, and it was on our home field. It was a ranked game. It was on College game day, all that stuff. So, yeah, obviously it would be huge.
So you think a little bit about the legacy of what this could mean, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. When I've talked to my dad about it before, he's talking about, yeah, we beat Bama that one time, whatever. And I'm like, dude, that was 30 years ago, whatever, 20 some years ago. And he's like, I'm telling you, like, that's just how it is. You'll still think about that, when I've got grandkids and talking about the good old days, right? So,
yeah, awesome stuff. He is Jacob Warren, Tennessee tight end. It's Tennessee Florida week. It is here. The Vol Report brought to you by Bassey Lawn and Garden. Jacob visits with us each and every week, so hit that like and subscribe button, share as well, so we can bring you Jacob and Cooper Mays as well right here on Off the Hook Sports. Thank you, Jacob. Best of luck, man. Rooting for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And this has been a production of Off the Hook Sports.